Hello everyone, today we create together the card with mixmedia background. I chosen the paper from the Alchemy of Art collection, the Men's World, and I cut the stripes smaller, about 3 millimeters from base. It's like in the height and weight, smaller, and when it's everything done, I cut the corners and I put on the guillotine, and I cut in this place where corners was about 2 millimeters more to make it the nice and even frame around the paper. And this is my base to work with mixed media. In next step I use the leftovers from the stripes, the small one, because I don't want to throw up to the trash. And then I cut them in the stripes in different weight. Then I have different pieces of paper now, and I will be that glue it on the base. I use the heavy body gel from Pentart to glue it, and I don't use that only in the place when I want to stick it together everything. I put the heavy body gel on the whole surface, even 2 or 3 times in one space, because I want to seal it paper before I start to play with the inks, paints and water. Then how you see, I put a lot of the heavy body gel and I put the stripes, and again whole surface I add the heavy body gel. Sometimes I leave the pieces out from the base, because when it will be dry I cut them with the scissors. It will be easier to cut them than stick it not quite even on the base. I put the stripes in different direction. I want to make it the background more interesting. When I create the small composition in the bottom of the base, then I start to add it a little bit more in the upper part. I want to make it a quite interesting surface, and only in the center I don't want to add too much, because it will be placed with the composition. Then I don't think about the stripes of paper in the middle. If the pieces of paper are too big or too long, I cut them with scissors and glue it on the base. When I cut them not quite even, I stick them with out of the base, and later I cut them. For me, it's the choose to glue it everything with the one side paper. Then my elements and my base, it's in the same colors. It's for me something what I wanted to make it, because I want to make the structure in the background, not the color pattern with the paper. But it's only your choice what you want to create. Then you can choose what you want to make it. When I finish with heavy body gel, I use the heat gun and I dry my base from the top and under too, because it's the paper and take the moistures. Then I want to have the totally dry surface for later. And everything is sealed with heavy body gel, but my choice is always add the one layer with the transparent gesso from Prima. This time it's only one layer, because I use the heavy body gel, then I don't worry about that. But usually when I use them, I add more than 2 or 3 layers of the transparent gesso. I want to be sure when I start to work with the water and inks or paints, I want to be sure I don't have the free spots and don't make me the ugly stain from paint. Next step, it's the stenciling. I chosen two stencils. One is from 13 Arts and second one with numbers is from Funky Fossils. For the first stencil, I chosen something what I have the new in my craft room, in the stencil paste with the metal look. It's the black diamond color. It's from Pentart. It's something what I have from Sztuka Zdobienia, the Polish shop, and I wanted to test it. I made small mistake with my one place because I used the same space on the stencil second time and I made the ugly stain on the center, but you know, it will be composition there, then it will be not visible. I clean the stencil because if everything dry, it will be harder to clean it later. And I dry a little bit because I want to be sure with the next stencil I don't destroy nothing more. Then if first pattern will be dry, I can start with the next one. And of course I took the second stencil with numbers. I love numbers, you know that. And this time I chosen the second thing what I wanted to try it. It's something new for me again. It's the iridescence glaze paste from Pentart in the olive gold color. It's the something what it's not like the paste, it's more like gel with the lot of the iridescence thing inside, like glitter. It's shimmer very beautiful, but it's not visible in the bottle because it's the white. But when it's dry, totally dry, it's transparent, and this shimmer particles, it's really beautiful. It's more like the gold with a little bit olive color and looking awesome. The two first elements I dry a little bit with the heat gun because I don't want to smash them on the base, and I start to work with the another one. This paste, it's really awesome because it's going perfect even with the smallest number, and even on the not on the quiet straight surface, like I have the stripes of the paper, and when the big number is on the two different levels, it's going perfect always. Then it's a really cool thing. This paste looking really awesome on the dark surface because it's transparent, then on the white it's not too much visible, but on this color it's looking nice. When we add later the colors from the paint, it will be looking more awesome. Then this time I added more numbers, how you see, and I leave that this time to dry naturally. I don't want to push that with a heat gun because not always it's good for our project. Mixmedia learned the patience for me, and this time I leave that on the desk and go to make the tea and eat something for a few minutes or the half hour, I don't remember, but I leave it that. I know when it's dry because the white paste change color to transparent, how you see. And now we can start with water and paints. I spray my base with water, and for this project I chosen the liquid acrylics from Prima, and I chosen the ochre, the tiger orange, burnt sienna and carmine. I add that with the brush. The first colors I add the water to make more transparent and more lighter color, like not something strange. And later I start to add more paint without watering to make the little bit stronger stain and colors place on the background. At the end I use the brush to making like the stain on the surface. I splash it with the paint on the wet surface, and in this way I have the splashes, but not something splashes with the big borders, like, you know, without border. It's more like the stain on the wet paper. It's more like the acrylic stains, not something more visible, but give it something special to project. And of course I start to dry. I use the low speed on my heat gun. I don't want to remove the water with colors. I want to dry more like the natural dry. My next step is stamping, and I chosen stamp from the Funky Fossils and stamp from Craft a New Design, and I chosen two inks what I love it from so time. It's the Chiaroscuro from Ciao Bella and the Aging series. I chosen Black Starless Sky and Obsidian. It's really beautiful ink because it's quick drying on the paper, very quick, and on media we need a little bit weight, but it's not too long like with the archival. And when it's dry, it's completely waterproof. It's so amazing thing. When you put that on the transparent gesso, on the beginning you can clean that with the wet tissue, but if you leave it completely dry, it will be totally waterproof. Then with mix media, it's really perfect thing, and these inks have different colors. Then it's really awesome inks. When it's ready, I found of course the spot with the which is not completely dry. Then I need to dry a little bit, and I am almost ready with the background, how you see. And in this moment, it's moment when I put the paper and few books and leave it that for the whole night to dry. My background dry in this way when I have time, because when it's dry in this way, it's totally straight next day. I took the paper from that, and you see it's flat. I don't need to fight with them, glue it to the base. I can use glue and stick it that. When I stick the background to the base, I decided to add one more piece of paper inside of the card. It will be the place for wishes. I always try to put something nice inside, then I prepare the place. It will be the same piece of the paper, and I cut the shape in the same way like the base on the beginning, and I glue it that inside. It will be placed when I stick it later, the paper with the printed wishes or the clear paper, to if somebody wants to write the wishes, because you know, people like different way. Some of them write wishes, some of them like have it ready. Then it will be ready to put inside something nice for somebody. And now I start to create the composition. Of course, I have the piece of paper from the last stripes, and I cut them on the smaller one, because when I create the composition, I used the papers like this to hide the cardboard, because I use the cardboard to make the distance on cards. This time I decided to use the second side of the paper, darker one. It will be looking nice. And I have the fuzzy cutting elements from the same collection from Alchemy of Art, Men's World. Then I have different elements matching for my ideas for composition. Then I start glue it cardboard with paper, and my idea is to make it the centerpiece in the composition this clock what I have up on my mat. Then I start to create the first elements like the stripes and pieces of the paper. It will be looking nice, everything together. And of course I try to hide the cardboard. I don't want to have visible pieces in my project at the end. Because usually I create the composition early, make it the photo and use the photo to rebuild everything. This time I create without that. I make it that piece by piece, and that's why I put the clock again and again to check it's okay or I need to add something. In this composition I use the dies from Craft and You design. It's the dies with the thin stripes in different sizes. Then I cut them on the half and I use it up and down. And of course, remember, if you use the small piece of the cardboard to put another piece of cardboard in the empty space, because we need to be careful with the surface, because at the end we want to glue it clock and we want to have it the ready base for that, not like the only small piece and everything under the clock. It will be like the empty space, because it can destroy our composition. And always keep looking, we have every empty space on the same level. It will be easier to make the composition. Of course I check every time when I glue it something, I check it's okay, or maybe in different place I need to add something. Then I use the clock for that and I put that, check it's okay, or I need to add something more and more. Then I build up my layers. And of course, for me, it's not enough only the papers and graphics. I need to add something more. My choice is the chipboards from Snipart. I chosen the arrows with the feathers at the end. Of course, with the embossing dabber, I put the ink on the top of every chipboard, and I add the tin rusted embossing powder from Lindis. I love it, this embossing powder. It's like the different sizes elements inside, the chunky one and tiny one, and it's looking really awesome when it's melted. And it's really nice thing, and this powder have really nice color matching to my card. Then I prepare every chipboard with that, and I will be melted that with my heat gun on the slow speed of warm air, because I don't want to blow up the bigger elements from them. Then piece by piece I need to melt whole embossing powder. And now I start to add my arrows to my composition. Some of them I cut it on two pieces because I like to use these elements like feather on one side and arrow on second side. It's looking better, and in this way I don't need two chipboards. One it's enough because I put one short element and it's visible, and feathers it's visible too, then it's really nice. And I don't think about to put that like the one straight line. If I have the arrow, I don't need to have it that in one line. For me it's not something what it's necessary. For me need to looking more interesting, even if the number is different on the top and down, then it's for me okay. I always want to make something nice in my composition. And of course at the end I add the clock on the center. Then it's almost ready, but it's not the end, because my chosen for the top it's the butterfly. It's a really nice butterfly and I want to decorate him, but first I need to prepare the sentences for my card, and I chosen the is the Polish word for birthday, and I colored that with alcohol marker, and I put on that glossy accent. I love this way to coloring chipboards because give you the nice shiny finish, and glossy accent makes the colors more vibrant when it's dry. Then in this way it's looking very, very nice. And we're back to the butterfly. I use again the glaze paste from Pentart. This time I use that with brush, and I that very, very thin layer on the edge of wings. It's dry very quick in this way. With this the butterfly wings start to shimmering like the real one when you see the butterfly in the sun. With this layer the edge of butterfly have the nice gold olive finish. I add the piece of the cardboard on the center of butterfly, and I shape him a little bit. I curve his wings. I don't want to have a flat butterfly, I want to have more dimension. And of course the sentences I add on the down of my card, on one of arrow. It will be looking nice. And because I chosen the tag shape for the base, I decided to make it whole on the on my cards, and I chosen the big eyelets for that, and I measure center of the card, make the hole and put the eyelets on that. When eyelets is ready, it's only one step. I need to add the ribbon. My choice is the vintage ribbon from Craft and New Design. I chosen the ribbon in dark brown color. It's looking really nice on this card. Then we finish that, and I hope you like it and you find the inspiration. If you want to create a card with mixed media, it's nothing hard. Then you can play and have fun with that. It's look really, really nice. Then thank you for watching me. It will be nice if you subscribe my channel, and see you next time. Bye.